Hey guys, this is Adam from dodjit.com and this is your video briefing for the 16th of March 2009. Now, look at this chart. This is amazing. What a rally we received last week. It was amazing. We received a 7% rally just on Tuesday, and then the indices just continued to climb higher and higher and higher. And basically what happened, we closed the week with 10% gains on the S&P 500. If we look at the other indices, we also climbed fairly high. I'm talking about 7% gains. If we look at the FTSE, the DAX, stuff like that. Where are we heading now? That's the interesting question. Well, number one, over the weekend we had the G20 summit meeting, and basically the same type of news came out. But then last night what happened is that Ben Bernanke approached the markets, approached the media, stating his opinion about the economy, about the rebound in the economy, and that's really sparked buying on the futures market early morning. And if we look at the indices at the moment, they are trading in positive territory. Now, from a technical point of view, where are we heading, where are we going? That really depends if this rally is going to follow through. We've got this major support level, our price support level, and what I think is going to really happen is I think this level is going to form a type of magnet. We're going to start to climb higher. We're going to probably touch this level. We might receive a small pullback during the course of this climb, but what I'm thinking is that we are probably going to head higher, roughly to the 800 mark. If we're talking about 800, we're talking about also a psychological level, and there we might receive some resistance. We've got this clutter around here which should form minor resistance. If we look long term though, which is quite interesting, if we look long term, we can see that we've got this major divergence happening roughly around here. So we're looking at this downtrend, we're looking also at this major divergence. We are seeing now some accumulation, some stock buying. We did receive declining volume on this trend going up, which is why I'm thinking that we're going to receive probably a small pullback on the way up to this 800 mark. Regarding a bullish market, we are far from a bullish market. We're still in this long downtrend, and we're going to have to receive further confirmation before we start entering long on different stocks. I would like to see a nice clear break of this 800 mark. That will give me further confirmation that we're going to start to go into our long positions. At the moment, whoever managed to catch this trend going up, I'm talking about long positions going up or a break of the secondary trend, whoever managed to catch the trend going up, I would think about starting to close your positions roughly around the 800 mark. Those of you who are thinking of taking long positions, especially long term, I would wait for further confirmation. Now, if we're looking at the different various sectors, obviously, if we are now starting to form this market bottom, and according to Ben Bernanke, the markets should start to recuperate by the end of this year, by the beginning of next year. So then the major sectors that I would be looking at are the techs and the financials. The techs, I just want to flip over to this chart. We can all see it's the Nasdaq 100. I normally class the Nasdaq as my major tech index that I look at, and we can see it's the same type of scenario. We can see like we broke this trend line going down, this secondary trend line. RSI trend line has also been broken. We're heading higher. We've climbed above the 50 level, and if we look very carefully, we can also see this double bottom formation that's occurred roughly around here. So techs look strong at the moment. They look to be like our ideal choice of long positions, especially if we're going long. We've also got this major divergence happening on the MACD. So that's to the long side. We've got these resistance levels coming up, but obviously if the broader market, I'm talking about the S&P 500, if the S&P 500 is going to just break high, break the 800 level, so then this shouldn't be a level that we need to be worried about too much. So we're probably going to head higher, like to the 1250 with a small pullback in the middle, which correlates the 800 mark on the S&P 500. If you're thinking about taking long positions, again, we're going to need further confirmation, especially with economic data showing further problems in the economy. In addition, you've got to watch out for Wednesday's interest rate decision in the US. Now, basically, they haven't really got anywhere to lower their interest rate. So, take the interest rate into consideration. They're probably going to think about pumping more money into the system, stuff like that, stabilizing the economy, the financial sector. And what they're going to probably do is they're going to probably hold, they're going to probably state that they want to see how previous rate cuts are going to affect the economy, and they're probably going to engage in more monetary actions that involve pumping money into the system. The next two charts that I want to bring up is, first of all, the US dollar chart, the dollar index chart, and then also I want to bring up the gold chart. Now, the dollar index itself, we have actually broken this trend line going up. We look carefully, we can see that we've broken it, but we haven't really dropped lower. We're not like plummeting lower, which really gets me thinking that we're probably going to head into this ranging pattern that we experienced throughout the whole of November. So we got to look out for this. I think also, if we're going to receive a break, if stocks are going to head much higher, and we are receiving now this bottom in the market, which I'm still a little bit skeptic, because in the end we're still in this bearish trend, and a minor up rally for 1 week doesn't mean that we're changing the whole trend. So I'm a little bit skeptic at the moment. We can see this skepticism in the US dollar. People are not yet so confident to rush out of these dollar assets, these safe dollar assets, and we can see this by how the dollar index is trading at the moment. So we're going to have to keep our eyes out on this. I don't think we're going to plummet lower unless we really start to rally in equities. And if we're not going to really rally in equities and we're going to just hit resistance and then drop back down, so then obviously the dollar is going to manage to hold its ground. I'm not saying that we're going to rally higher, but we might continue to consolidate around this area. Now, the next chart is gold, like I promised you. Now, we signaled this position, a long position, and we did take this long position. We got stopped out on this position. This was a few videos back. And what's happened since is that basically we've really touched our bottom trend line and we started to head higher. Now, I'm a little bit reluctant to get into this position, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this resistance line roughly around here, as my confirmation level. So what I'm basically doing is I'm waiting to see a clear break of this level. Obviously, this is going to occur if equities are going to continue higher. And another thing that we've got to take into consideration is our inflation data that is coming out this week, which could really spark movement. So we're looking for a move on this commodity at the moment. We're thinking it's going to head up higher, but I am now using this resistance level as my confirmation level. I do want to see a clear break of this level in order for me to get into this position. Then obviously our stop's going to be below our prior lows. If we're not heading higher, so then we're going to use these two levels as indication as to where this commodity is heading. If we're going to break this trend line, so obviously we're heading much lower. Again, we're going to use this resistance level as our confirmation level. Hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Adam from dodjit.com.